Hey, welcome. Let me see here. I need to pull this up a little bit. There we go. The one-man band. All right. Over the last few days, I've been making molds. And I must say, success! Yay! Here I have a fiberglass mold. The plug is still in it. And I'll show you how it turned out. Let's see if we can get it out of there. Turned out perfect. That's what we like to see. Perfect. Now what I'm going to do, we're going to make the top part of the mold, so that when I mold this and do this, they go together perfectly. So this gets mounted to this board, but we're going to sink this piece into this plastic. So there's still lots of work to do before I can mold my first part. Now, this would probably work as is, but it's not very substantial. I kind of want to set this into this board so that it's stiffer. Maybe back it up with some Bondo. Make it heavier so it doesn't flex. Of course, it doesn't flex much now, but we're going to do these things. I'm going to do them right. Somebody had mentioned that they had a super tagger. Please get a hold of me on the forum if you want to make a trade. If you don't, I understand. So let's cut it with this one. So where's my pencil? I haven't seen my pencil in a while. Now I got a wing mold. This is half the mold right here. I need to glue this on top of this, and then box it off and pour another mold on top, then split it apart and dig all this shit out of it. And we'll have I mean, this is rock hard. This is a hard wing mold. This ain't like this one. Just waiting on Dan to get back with me. That has an error in it. I want to know how to fix that error. Here's my pencil. Okay. So this is 5. We want 2.5. Shit, I need the top to this so I can sharpen it up. It got broke off. There it is. Now, if you're following this series and you're not much interested or whatever, that's fine. But you never know. You might want to make something. The resin I'm using comes from Resin Services. It's HTR 250 with the hardener 92 HT 9234. Now this resin is good to 250 degrees. So if you want to post cure it, which we will. And I've also changed my mind. I was going to make the fuel tank in the bottom pan, but I'm going to make it in the top. I think. I'll have to look at the wing placement to make sure that we can get away with that. Here's some more spam. Johnny Longwalk, you have food order? You have food order? Well, I'm on the national do not call list. It doesn't work. Okay, now I'm going to cut this out and set this into it. And then we'll add some glass on the back side. And this is just a reinforcement is all it is. I might put it up on a 1-inch piece of wood all the way around so that it doesn't move. Of course, I don't know. That may not be a good idea. When I get ready to take these out, I might want to be able to twist it. I'll work on that in a bit. Let's do this part here. There's so much to do. So I redid this. That's why I hate doing these live streams like this. You guys are not interested in this shit. What in the hell happened to the sandpaper? Right in front of my face. How many times are it going to take to get that dimple out? Yeah. So I have to have this plug perfect before I can mold it or make a mold out of it. Got a little dent right there. I gotta fill it again. Then we gotta prime it and then let it dry. Mold making shit's a bunch of waiting. It ain't very fast. That should have got it. Nope. There we go. You guys got any questions on this mold stuff? Seems like there's not a whole lot of interest in it. But it'll be cool when I'm done. I know I can make a stunner now. Okay. So here again, I gotta let this shit dry, so what am I doing? I think I'm gonna remake this. This is not good. I think we could make it out of this plastic and it would be better. Because all this is a mold. Let's do that. Let's make it out of this plastic. That'll give you something to look at while I'm waiting for this shit to dry. Now, the original Perky had this elevator attached in the center with balsa wood. I think I'm going to put a horn in it with a 3/32 music wire. Because this ain't a stunner, so what I'm going to do... Yeah, I can get away with both of them I want out of this one piece. I wasn't looking for an all carbon ship, you could probably make the elevator out of this piece here and just glue it in and fly it. But I don't think this is light as carbon. So yeah. So I have no room for anything in this shop. No place for the keyboard, no place for stuff. It's just ridiculous. I got too much stuff. Yeah, what we're gonna do here? We might lose the camera. Come on. No, that didn't do it. I can unplug this one. This is unbelievable. Okay. All right. Too much stuff. Okay. Now these pieces here, I need to hand sand a taper in them. And round them off. Well, they don't look right. Why doesn't that look right? Maybe we need to. Yeah, I need to. Somehow they got skewed, got bigger. Got to have enough to get in the fuselage. Hey, Doug, can monocoat be applied over superfill? Probably not. Let me hit this with a sander real quick. Let's put it this way. If you're talking about going over fillets, don't do it. If you're talking about a spot on a wing and you just need to go over the top of that, yeah, no problem. I need to sand these together because they're not exactly the same. Now they're the same. Yeah, if you're just if you got a spot here on something and you need to monocoat over it, yeah, go ahead and do it. Probably won't stick very good, but if you're trying to go over a fillet, definitely don't do it because it will not stick. Okay, here's the deal. Oop. That looks better. Here's the deal on this here. Let's see here. I've got some flat spots on a balsa covered turtle deck, and I was looking for something to make the shape. Yeah, go ahead and do it. But if I was you, after you get it shaped, I would paint this over the top of it if you can find it. Balsa, it's a sticky glue basically. Okay, here's the deal on this. See, this is real rough and I don't want to sand it. So this is real smooth. I need to make a leading edge and a trailing edge on this. And I'm going to sink it halfway in to a piece like this, maybe even this piece. Yeah, I can do it right on this piece. Yep, I can do it right here. Let's see, is that right? If I make one of these, can I flip it over on itself? If I'm real accurate with measurements, maybe. So I would have only had to make, well, it's best to make two. So it has to be 50%. This has to be stuck down into this here. So I'm gonna have to take a Dremel tool and grind this out. I'm gonna just use flat plate hinges. The pockets will already be molded, so you don't have to cut them. Just stick them in and go. Because you can't cut carbon. This not very well. There it is. Let's put a line on it. Now I put a lot of work into this perky, but as I've said, it's just an experiment for a full-size stunner. It's not going to be a whole lot of shape. It's just going to be a flat stab. It'll be fine. I know, we'll make electric perky. That'll really piss people off. I already thought about, this. Where'd it go? This pan will yield just like a harder speed pan. You could make like a D speed. We could put a 60 in here. We might try that too. Put a 60 in it. Of course, not this one. It's not very good. And a different top on it. Boy, in the 50s, if they'd have had this kind of technology, I wonder what things would be like. Because the motor is going to sit on these beams here. Well, that's actually be like that. They'll have to be sanded to an arc and glued to the side, and then we'll have carbon stringers in here. It's a complicated idea that I have here. I don't see why it won't work, though. All I need is an engine. It was originally built for this one, but as long as I'm going to put this much effort into it, I want to win. So we need a good motor. A Fora or Fauna or whatever. I don't know what the hell he said. Some type of racing 15. Okay, that's pretty much roughed in here. Might as well get the bevel on this. Remember, whatever this part looks like is what all the other parts are going to look like. So I got to make it right the first time. That looks pretty good. Time to order some more 180. That's nice. I think I know how to increase the revenue on the hangout. Because we are down this month. We've had 0 revenue. I think I'll make it for 2025 supporters only. I hate to force things, but got to do something. Go back and look at all the live streams for this month. Nothing. 0. Yeah, this is a much better idea to do than try to do that to the balsa wood, because then I'd have had to finish it. This I don't have to finish it. Prime it and sand it. I'm going to hold it. Think of something. Yeah, what a good idea. Get your orders in on these perkies if you want one, so I know how much material to buy. I just I ordered 2 more rolls yesterday, or day before yesterday. Got them yesterday. I didn't even look at them. Yeah, these are the same. My dad would say, going out backwards. How much time we got in? 41 minutes. We didn't learn much. Didn't learn much on this stream. There's just too much work to do to get on a stream. I need to do an edited movie, I guess, because this is not very exciting. So after I get this sanded, the trick is I will draw on this, around this. I'll take a Dremel tool and I'll sink this piece into this piece 50%. Then I can do a mold. Now I think I'm only going to have to do one, or maybe I ought to do top and bottom. I don't know. That way I can do tops and bottoms at the same time. I'm not sure. There we go from Ben. Thank you very much. First super chat of the month. That is of the month. What type of product are you making your plug out of? This is a green foam. This green stuff, I glued 2 pieces together, one on top of the other, and made the plug. Be very careful. If you're going to use this 2-part primer, if you don't epoxy it, the primer will have melted, because it melted the crap out of it. So it's got to have epoxy on the foam. And I am totally ecstatic of how good this mold came out. Somehow I got goobers on this. I got to get off. Play, it looks like. Like, I'm not going to make many of these perkies, so I'm not going to make another mold. I'll just make the one mold for a perky. But as I've stated, this is a experiment for a bigger project. Let me show this. Come on now. This thing is acting weird. That'll cover half a roll of carbon. That's good. It's pretty important to use the right resin on this too. The resin I use is from Resin Services. They're out of Michigan. And it's HTR 250. You can look it up online. Just type in HTR 250 Resin Services. Will pop right up. So there's how those go together. It will be a perfect fit. That's what we want. I got to get that clay off there. There's clay inside there. Ben says, are you going to start the stunt ship carbon fiber project with the stab and elevator? Yes, more than likely. Do the stab, elevator, and rudder. If you want, I can take you, do a live stream right from Lowe's when I pick up the material. There's got to be some clay still stuck on this somewhere. Yep, right. I know. We'll use some wax to get it off. I already washed it. Washed the PVA out. That clay is kind of stuck. You got to get the right clay too. Non-acidic, non-drying modeling clay. You got to have the right shit. Now, guys, I am no expert on this. I'm a beginner. This is a learning curve, so we're learning together. As I told Dan, I built a Kawasaki chopper, and the side covers, after I lowered the seat, didn't fit, so I cut and section those side covers, and I did it exactly the same way I did this. So I do have experience at this, but not at that casting stuff. There we go. We got it cleaned up now. I can hardly wait to pull a plug out, or pull a part out of this, because I believe it's going to be beautiful. Beautiful from you guys from Minnesota. you look at my fuel tanks, they're perfect. You know, that's the way to do it. Of course, those are windy molds, but my tanks don't look like his for some reason. Different material. Okay, we got wax on this now. I don't know whether I want to sink that in there or not. I think it'd probably be all right like this. Maybe another couple layers of glass on top of this. Let me check my stats here. I haven't looked at that in a while and tell you how much we're actually down on this. $321 down. Shit. It does. It's probably 70% off from last month. 70%. Like I say, it's almost not worth doing anymore. All right, tonight is the hangout. Hey, James. Getting brain dead. Totally forgot. Let's see. Getting brain dead lately. Forgot what the stab is on elevator. I don't know what you mean. This is the stabilizer. Needs to go on the back are the elevators. Other than that, I don't know what to say. I lost one here. What happened? No, there it is. Man, I got to really hump to make up 70%. Or type elevator. James, I don't understand the question. Can you rephrase the question? I'm more than happy to answer, but I have, I just don't understand the question. This is going to be nice. I mean, this is slick. Yeah, rephrase the question. I'll be more than happy to answer. You're talking about the stunter that I'm going to build. We're going to build a stab and elevator, which is about the same size as the wing. It's 30 inches by 8 inches wide. That'll be the first mold. The rudder will be about 10 inches square. And then I'll probably do a fuselage. Most of that work will be done in this process here, in making the mold, the plug. I'll hot wire the foam for the stabilizer, glue them together, shape the tips, and then make a mold. Seeing that now nobody's cutting foam wings and you got to do everything yourself, which I got no problem doing. Just, the problem is getting the foam, because they want you to buy a billet, which is a truckload. And Danny's got a machine that cuts both sides of the wing at the same time. You can see that on his channel. I really don't need that. I can just do it the old-fashioned way, cut it one side at a time. But nobody is making anything for this stuff anymore. So you got to make your own. Will you use the fiberglass mold method or epoxy? I will use the fiberglass mold method like I did here. I know this works. I might have to do that with the wings because I got a problem with that pour again, unless Danny can come up with a fix. Some reason it got a void. I'm thinking that I'm just going to pour some surface coat in that. But if there's no fixing it, I'd like to know now so that I can go on to make a mold like this. Because this is going to happen. It's not going to fail. I've made 3 sets of wings so far, and I've had 0 success. But just like when I was mechanicing, something wouldn't come apart, I'd tell them, you might as well give up because you're not going to win, and this is not going to beat me. That comes from Thrifty Mart. I don't know that I ever told this story. When I was a kid, you know, I'd watch the soapbox derby races, and they'd have all kind of neat cars. And I asked my dad didn't really help me do anything. He showed me how to do it, but he didn't help me do anything. I said, "How are these made?" He said, "Well, they're made out of orange crates." I said, "Okay." So I went to Thrifty Mart, which was the local grocery store, and the orange crates were 15 cents a piece. And you take all the boards apart, and I didn't have any money, so we'd straighten the nails. That they were put together with nails back then, not staples. Straighten the nails, and I'd be working on that soapbox derby car, and I'd hit a nail in it, it'd bend over. Just boom, just them box nails would just bend over. So I asked my dad. I said, "Dad, I can't." Oh, he hated that word. I'll explain that too. I can't get this nail to go in. Ain't no such word as can't. You got to hit it with determination. And then he'd show me how to do it. And I learned a valuable lesson about can't as a kid. I had a go-kart, and he told me, never go in my toolbox. He was a mechanic at the time. Never go in my toolbox. I was working on my go-kart in the garage, and I needed a brake stop. Well, the perfect thing for it that he had in his toolbox was a double pipe flaring tool. You can clamp it on the rod. So I borrowed that. And I took my go-kart out down to the school, and it fell off somewhere. And I swear, just like radar, he came home. And if you're a mechanic, you know that you very rarely use a double flare pipe flaring tool. I got one in my box. I might use it 3 times in a lifetime. He came home and he zeroed in and he needed that thing. Where is it? I don't know. You've been in the toolbox. Where is it? I don't know. You better look for it. I can't find it. Well, can't went on for, it seemed like the longest time. Hour, 2 hours, whatever. He got mad and he broke a 2x2 board about 10 foot long over my back. My mother freaked out. It didn't hurt me. He said, you can and will do anything you set your mind to. Now go find it. And I did. I'm afraid to get beat again with that board. Best lesson I ever got. You can and will do anything you set your mind to. So that's just a little words of wit to the young guys that might be watching. You can do it. You just have to have determination. And if you let it beat you, then you're a loser. You've lost the game. As most of the guys that watch this, because most of the guys are 65 and older on my channel, will attest, there was no such thing as everybody's a winner and everybody gets a trophy. Just was talking to Danny today about the 2 trophies I got, and I'll show you these. They're in the other room, kind of hiding. These are the trophies that have ruined America. See, it says 2012 participant. It's a participation trophy. I don't know why I got it. I should have threw it out. I told Charlie I didn't want it, but he insisted I took it. (2011) and 2012. Useless. Paperweights. So we'll get this sanded up and get this ready for primer. I'll prime that along with that other top block, and we'll, by tonight, when the hangout's going on, I'll lay up the top mold. We'll probably start pulling parts next week, I think. If I can get this wing figured out. We might just, I might just go to a glass mold because we're having problems. That's ridiculous. Wasting time. Okay. This is nice. Got a nice smooth finish on it. It's plastic, but it doesn't matter because we're not using this. It's heavy. Let's see what it weighs. This should weigh. This should be in about the half-ounce range if my fingers are right. Yeah, 21 grams, so 3/4 of an ounce. Mode. Yep, 7.7, so 3/4 of an ounce. But we'll get that down to 1 gram, maybe 2. And this gets mounted, gets a notch mounted about right there. Well, I've spent an hour babbling. Appreciate you guys watching. Thank you very much, Ben, for the first super chat of the month. We're down 70%. Hopefully that will help a little, but it's going to take quite a bit. So make sure you like, subscribe, share the video. Hopefully you learned something. I'm learning. So we'll see you tonight. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya.